Welcome to the Tapestry podcast, where fashion stories are woven one thread at a time. I'm your host, Ina Korobkina, actress who played Luda in Dawn of the Dead, that pregnant chick who succumbs to a zombie scratch and gives birth to a zombie baby. So ironically, I have come back to life to birth this podcast, dedicated to exploring the blossoming world of creativity and beauty amidst the AI revolution. This program is brought to you by Jewel Branding Studios, a style consulting agency that helps you tell your unique story, one creative outfit at a time. Kelsi Gayda, welcome to the Tapestry podcast. I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
This podcast is dedicated to sharing fashion stories and discussing the transformative nature of clothing. I believe finding our authentic style is a journey. It is a series of steps and moments woven together to create a rich tapestry that is our life. And so I'm so curious to find out today and learn from you the fashion moments that color your story, your tapestry, and how they contribute to your work and your inspiration as a photographer, videographer, stylist, and also founder of 1611 Studios. So my first question to you is, what would we typically catch you wearing on a daily basis? What is your uniform? What is your signature style as a photographer, stylist, and founder of your studio?
So my signature style, I get a lot of inspiration from European fashion, Copenhagen fashion. Like, what's the day-to-day style that you're wearing to, work, to play. I always love to be chic and have all of my silver jewelry, but I'm always put together. Like, I'm so inspired by people around me in my neighborhood. They're so well dressed. Everyone's dressed to the nines, which is just so inspiring. And it's just fun to get dressed every day and head to the studio and meet people. But yeah, I'd say mostly European fashion is my inspiration right now. So it's like poplin shirts, a lot of minimal, but with that pop of color or a fun shoe. I have these really great Lisa Says Ga shoes, which have florals on them. They're clogs. So just having like one piece that's really fun in your wardrobe every day.
Yeah, signature shoe. I'm big on signature shoes. I typically like to wear a lot of black, but interesting shapes.
Yeah, exactly.
You as well, Copenhagen. I'm thinking like Germany, like it's very a lot of black, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And just like everyday wear, blazers and t-shirts, but paired with maybe a fun maxi skirt, things like that.
Nice. So were you a stylist first before you became a photographer, or photography came first?
So actually my story is pretty funny. So I have had a camera in my hand since I was 13 years old. But I've always been involved in the fashion industry, always loved fashion. I used to go on like Tumblr blogs and vlogs before going to school and like figure out my outfit and get inspiration. But yeah, so I started styling my own shoots and I kind of fell into styling that way. I started getting hired for commercials and stuff like that. And I never really looked back. So that's kind of just one of the assets that I offer when doing photo shoots or even just styling on its own.
That's such a beautiful progression from stylist to photographer and now founder of your own studio. Now,
Yeah.
what were the steps there? Finding the space, and what type of photo shoots do you typically do there? What's your the stories that you like to tell? Because photography is basically telling visual stories.
Yes, of course. So it's always been my dream to have my own event space and photography studio. So I had an opportunity and I jumped on it. It's a beautiful space. It needed a lot of renovations. So I took out a loan. I spent my whole bank account on this space. Like, it is built with my whole heart and soul. So over the 6 months, I did all these renos, and that's what you see today. But if you saw it before, it's crazy how much has gone into it. Like, there was literally stucco throughout the space. I built 2 bathrooms. I really opened up the space and made it the best it could be. But yeah, so the space has always been a dream of mine. And the mission of the space is to provide accessible space for the community. So there's a lot of creatives that come in and do photo shoots, they do castings, they do a lot of parties, dinners, pop-up shops. So what I do with the space also is on a monthly basis, I provide a platform for various artists, photographers, brands to pop up in the space on a monthly basis. And it's just to highlight the community and just showcase all the talent that there is in this city because it's such a vibrant and inspiring city. So that's really the mission of the space, is to provide a platform, and that's kind of where I'm going.
That is a beautiful mission. Yeah, because like with this podcast, I'm exploring the transformative nature of clothing and also focusing on the flourishing world of the arts as AI is taking over. So we really need to support the artists and support the arts so that we don't lose
Yes.
that craft, because what you don't use, you lose, as the famous saying going. So we have to continually
Arts.
explore photography and styling and getting in there and creative, right? So
Yeah.
by accessible, what do you mean by accessible? Because if you look at all the studios and the prices
Hmm.
in Toronto for renting a studio, they're astronomical. So how do you make it accessible? And I'm so glad that you do that because that is so needed.
Yeah, yeah. So I obviously see that that's a huge thing in the city. There's a lot of, the youth that are looking for space, people that are learning, that are kind of advanced in their career, where whatever it may be. But yeah, with the space, I do provide accessible pricing. So with the photo studio, it's $40 an hour. And then, yeah, and it comes with lighting. So we have built-in RGB LED lighting
I
already. That's
saw
up,
that.
yeah.
So
Yep.
beautiful. And you can choose what color.
Yeah,
Oh,
you can change whatever color you want. So that was a huge factor for me, was thinking as a photographer, what would people need and how can I make the space the best it can be with the space I have. I also have rigs on the top, so you can actually attach lighting to the top and save space on the floor. So you can attach the lighting so it's overhead. And then I also share my equipment. So tripods, continuous lighting, cords, everything like that, that also comes with your booking. As well as the full space is 65 an hour. So if you want to have, natural light in the front studio, or you want to shoot at the bar and, use some funky glassware and kind of move around the space, the full space is only 65 an hour. So it's very, very accessible.
that is very commendable. Yeah, thank you for doing that. That's so great. How long have you been open now?
So we've been open since June 2023. Yeah. Due West Fest, June 2023 was when I said, we got to get the doors open. We need people to come in here. Due West Fest attracts so many people, and I just wanted to show everyone who we were. So yeah, we've been going strong for the last 2 years, coming up in June.
Congratulations.
Thank
I
you.
have to, I'm looking forward to visiting the space and doing a little video. I haven't seen it. I've only seen it on Instagram, but it looks beautiful. I love that
Thank
you have a bar there and
Yes.
these events. Have you heard of 74 experience?
No, I haven't.
Oh, I have to put you guys in touch. So they do something similar, but they want to create a more thriving community for musicians. And
Oh, I
so I
love
went to
that.
one of those events. And so there's a sing along. So people who are very talented and can just riff off a song, and then people are coming in and singing along. And so they want to provide a space for musicians to have an ability to practice and make those mistakes.
Yeah.
Because with AI and all the technology that is available, it is so easy to auto tune and Photoshop, but we have to have those moments where we're allowed to make mistakes and not be perfect. And that's the only way we can grow as artists. So they're very similar to you in that they're in the music scene. So I feel like you guys would make an amazing collaboration together.
I'd love that. Yeah, we've done some music shows in the space and they've been a hit. We can put the band in the front, we can put the band in the back, but the space is so great for those intimate shows. And music is such a big part of my life. And I'd love to have more musicians come in and do listening parties or just kind of, do something for the community. So we open the doors and we have music playing. I'd love that. I'm a big fan of jazz as well. So that's kind
Mm.
of my thing. I love like a jazz band. So fun.
That's so great. Yeah, because a human experience is a very sensual experience. So you've got the fabric touching you, you've got the what looking at the fabrics, and you've got the music. So if you
Mhm.
put that all together, it just hits all the senses.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now going back to fashion, tell me some of your favorite brands, and do you have any local Canadian brands that you turn to?
Yes, yes, of course. I'm a big, big supporter and fan of Canadian fashion, of local boutiques. When it comes to brands, I'm mostly shopping local. In my neighborhood, there's so many great vintage shops, Chosen Vintage,
Hmm.
Good Habits, Shop Coat. The list goes on, but also designers that I love, Mario Fugnido, Sagradessa, Hot Pot Variety. These are people who are pushing boundaries in the fashion industry, especially in Toronto and Canada. And it is so inspiring to see their growth and see what they're doing, and they're worldwide renowned. Um, yeah, there's so much talent in the city, and I love supporting these designers. I've actually had a couple in my space shop soap studios. She is incredible. She does really beautifully tailored dresses and bubble skirts and just fun colors. Her last collection was amazing. And then I had Sagradessa actually shooting in the studio for her new collection. So that was super exciting. And I'm also excited to see them at Fashion Art Toronto next week.
I'm not familiar with these brands, but this is what this podcast is all about, talking to various people, finding out what their brands are. And then I like to compare it to like a blossoming garden. So we're all planting these seeds and supporting other artisans. So just by you showing up and planting your seed and sharing these brands, I'll go up and look them up, and then my audience will as well. And that's how we support one another. So thank you for mentioning those. Now,
Yeah.
in terms of your favorite piece in your wardrobe that
Mm.
has been in there for the longest time, what piece would that be?
Oh my gosh. Well, the one that comes on top of my head is something that was gifted from a friend of mine like 10 or 15 years ago. It's a vintage Pink Floyd band t-shirt that I just love. And it's just been so sentimental because she's such a good friend of mine. We were best friends growing up. Like we've been friends since junior high school. And it's a sentimental piece that I've had in my wardrobe that I love, that I can always like reflect on. And I just love like how clothing kind of holds that sentiment sometimes and like can make you feel a certain way or like brings you back to a certain moment. So that's actually the one piece I've had in my wardrobe forever.
I love that. I have a similar story. I had a girlfriend give me, for my birthday, a silk top with like really interesting sleeves. And I've had that for about 20 years, and I
Oh
turn
my
to it
God.
consistently and think of her every time. So definitely, there's so many memories woven into that fabric. It's not just a piece of
Yeah.
clothing, there's so much
Yeah.
more to it. Yeah.
Hmm.
What about jewelry or items that you might have picked up on your travels?
Yeah, so I do a lot of traveling to Mexico, and that's where most of my silver is from. I'm a big silver girly. Some of my favorite pieces, like this ring here, is from Jocotepec in Guadalajara.
Beautiful.
I love. It's just like such a one of a kind piece. I also got this Carrie Bradshaw style necklace done in the same area, Chapala. But yeah, lots of my silver is from Mexico. It is just the beautiful, like the most beautiful, stones and artisanal work. It is where you find the most unique work for silver. I love it so much. But yeah, I wear these like every day. It's kind of like my staple look. I always have my silver on. It's kind of like protection.
Yeah, your armor.
Hmm.
Yeah, I love that. That's like your signature. I love gold. It reminds me of stars, like wearing black. I've said this so many times before, and then gold is like a sparkling star in the night sky.
I love it. Yeah, it's very, very much so like that with that outfit. I love it.
What piece are you dreaming of purchasing next? What's been on your list or that you've been coveting?
To be honest with you, the Ghani trench is on my list right now.
Okay, I'm gonna have to
It
look that
is,
up. Tell me
it
more.
is so cute. Gani is like one of the brands that I love. What if it comes to like brands just being brands, but Gani has this amazing trench and it has like these big buckles. Just the detail is so cool. It's just like a regular trench that you can wear on a daily basis in the springtime. It's beautiful.
All right, I'm gonna have to look that one up.
Yeah, yeah, it's on my list.
What is your earliest childhood memory that's linked to fashion where you remember falling in love with clothing and the transformative nature of it and just feeling amazing?
I think when I look back at my childhood, so I was a competitive figure skater. So my fondest memory when it comes to fashion pieces when I was a child was those really fun, beautiful figure skating dresses that I'd wear in competition with all of the, jewel work and designed work on the pieces. That was kind of my earliest childhood memory of fashion. And then I just always felt like a princess, and it was also kind of like wearing armor as well when I
Mm.
was out on the ice, competing. So that's my earliest childhood memory.
Now, do you feel like your style has changed? Because the way you described what you wear these days is a little different. At which point did you switch from that like bejeweled, detailed dresses to the Copenhagen style?
Yeah, I think my style is always evolving.
Mm.
Even in like the last year or two, it's constantly evolving. I'm constantly being inspired. But I think for me, I'm moving towards staple pieces that I can wear that have longevity. So things like, like this poplin shirt I can wear on a weekly basis and it's just so chic and I feel amazing in it. And it's a fun piece. It's a vintage Banana Republic. But yeah, I think over the years, my style has just always evolved. So I'm constantly evolving, I'm constantly changing. I'm constantly being inspired. When I travel, I get so inspired by people's style as well. And I just love digging in different vintage shops and finding those one of a kind pieces as well.
I'm so glad that you said that it's not locked in. Style is not locked in. So
Yeah.
it's a moment by moment journey, as I was saying, and you're reflecting. And also the environment, politics, art, what's happening around us will probably dictate or does dictate what we gravitate to and what we wear.
Yeah.
But yeah, those well-made pieces, the classics, definitely I can relate to that. I
Yeah.
tend to be drawn to those too because they're easier to accessorize, they're easier to mix and match.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. There's someone in Toronto who started this 333 style 333 format where you would pair the same shirt three times. They would
I feel
choose pieces and then they would style them three different ways. And it was amazing to see how many times you could actually style the same piece, because I know a lot of people feel like they don't have anything in their wardrobe. But if you really just take the time and try the same piece a few different times, you can really see how much you can do with it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I feel like I've seen that in magazines as well, where
Yeah.
they show like one piece, but three different ways of styling it. And accessories
Exactly.
play a big part
Oh,
in that.
yeah.
As soon as you
Yeah.
add a new accessory, it just transforms the look, especially the
Agree.
shoes that
Yes.
anchor in the look.
Hmm.
Now, before we wrap up, can you share some dream collaborations that you have in mind, people that you've always wanted to work with as a photographer and maybe even a stylist?
I'd love to shoot Sagradessa one day. I love her pieces. They're just so whimsical and so detailed. When you see her brand, you're going to be like blown away. She really, her craftsmanship is just like amazing. But yeah, I'd love to create a world where we collaborate and I shoot a campaign for her. That's definitely someone who I'm dreaming about collaborating with. Um, Mario Fugnito as well. Would love, love, love. His pieces are like art pieces that could be hung in a gallery.
I love learning
Okay.
about new designers. I was interviewing a rug designer out of Scotland, and
Oh, no
she was
way.
sharing some
Cool.
of her favorite shoe brands because one of the things that she loves as a rug designer are shoes. She's got a beautiful
Yeah.
collection. And when she
Wow.
showcases her handmade rugs, which sometimes take up to 10 months to make, they're like works of
Mhm.
art. She shows a point of view of her walking in her signature shoes as the rug
Oh my
unrolls.
gosh.
And so we
That's
had this
so
beautiful
cute.
discussion about shoes and the craftsmanship and different designers that she loves. So I love, again, I love to relate this to like a garden, a blossoming garden where everybody contributes their unique flower in terms of
Yeah.
artisans that they resonate with. So I'm so glad that you were able to join me today on the Tapestry podcast and add to this garden, add to this conversation, and share the rich tapestry that is your life. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for listening to the Tapestry podcast. Chances are, if you resonate with the content I shared today, you might be on a journey to finding your authentic voice and your unique message for the world. If that is the case and you're navigating speaking in public, then my Styled to Speak program is perfect for you because the outfit we custom designed for you together will help you make the most out of the 7 seconds it takes to make that first impression on stage. Speak with conviction and allow your signature stage outfit to add to that conviction. Visit jewelbrandingstudios.com to learn more. That's JEWEL brandingstudios.com.